Hello, I'm Faith Bentley, and today I'm going to be informing you guys on the history and the hardships of rowing. Hold up your hand and look closely. Picture bloody, pus-filled calluses and blisters taking over the palms of your hands. You're relieved you just got out of practice, yet your legs tremble as you walk to the car. You're glad it's over with, and there's a feeling of completion, only to remember you have to do it all over again tomorrow. Competitive rowing consists of practice 6 to 14 times a week, leaving the rower in consecutive pain. Like swimming, rowing uses every major muscle group of the body, including the legs, the arms, the abdomen, the back, and the chest. Let's start by looking at the history. Rowing originated in ancient Rome as a form of warfare and transportation, and the rowers were usually the slaves or the prisoners. Rowing on galleys was fatiguing, repetitive, and ridiculously hard work, killing many in the process. Rowing unofficially began in the 1700s, yet was introduced in America as competitive rowing during the Yale-Harvard Regatta in 1852. Looking into the styles of rowing, there are two different types. The first being sweeping, which is when the oarsman handles only one oar and it's contested in a pair, a 4, or an 8. Now this can be split up into two different divisions, being a lightweight or open weight. Kind of like wrestling, lightweight rowers have to manipulate their lifestyles to reach 130.0 exact on the scale, or else they cannot compete. Sculling uses 2 oars, and this is contested in a single, a double, or a quad. Oars range from 9 to 12 feet, so picture 2 of me stacked on top of one another as I am 5'5". Keeping the history in mind, let's look at the dangers of competitive rowing today. A July 28, 2015 article on rowperfect.co stated if an inexperienced oarsman were mentally and emotionally fragile, they would fail in the sport of rowing, regardless of their physical strengths and abilities. Rowing takes immense willpower and concentration to succeed, sending one into overdrive and creating cardiac complications. I myself used to be a rower, and if it wasn't for the excruciating practices and unhealthy diet plans, I would be going to San Diego State for D1 rowing next year. I was never very athletic, so when I found my thing, I thought it was my destiny to automatically fulfill it. My meals would consist of cabbage, carrots, water, and tuna for the 2 weeks leading up to my races, just so I could get down 15 pounds. I weighed in at 145, and the only reason why I put myself in this division was for better opportunities and better load placements. Picture this: you're in a room surrounded by all of your peers with just a scale. How mortifying is that as a teenager when that is your biggest insecurity? The pressure of losing weight is immense, especially when it comes to weigh-ins, and if you don't make your weigh-in, your whole boat can't race. Rowing is a team sport, but it's very individualized, as if you can't pull your own weight, then the boat is off. Within my own experience, I learned that your biggest opponent isn't the other boats, however, it's yourself. Rowing is an endurance-driven sport, and with any, it is inevitable that your brain will go into self-defense mode and try to preserve your body by saying, the pain is too much, I can't go on. Remembering how rowing originated and the history, how it was a form of punishment, rowers find a rush from this mental abuse, kind of like an addiction. It's the same rush that one gets after a hard workout and they're leaving the gym, or after finishing a test that you thought you would fail and you did absolutely amazing on. It's just a sense of completion. In conclusion, while rowing contains a negative history and can be detrimental, the physical and mental obstacles just make you stronger in the long run. As of 2019, U.S. rowing was considering getting rid of lightweight rowing at youth level because of how dangerous it was and the amount of athletes that put themselves in risk of health issues. Rowing is pleasure after pain, in words of award-winning author James Brown, saying, psychologists in fact have calculated that rowing a 2,000-meter race, the Olympic standard, takes the same psychological toll as playing 2 basketball games back to back, and it exacts that toll in about 6 minutes. Thank you guys for listening. Do you have any questions? All right.